I mean, if we were all convinced it was good and the rest of the world thought it was lousy, you know, we'd probably be quite happy to stay in our insane asylum alone.
Small record companies have always taken risks on music that is not commercial. Rough Trade is supporting Robert Rental and the Normal, who've made records but are still experimenting at home with their synthesizers and tapes. This music has no obvious audience, but Rough Trade ignore record company wisdom about what people want to hear. They package their tour so that people who come to see Stiff Little Fingers will be forced to listen to unfamiliar music. The reception could have been hostile, but the atmosphere was usually good-natured interest. These impassive technicians were, after all, a suitably alienating setting for the real stars of the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's where we belong. Don't know what to do. Look at me, I don't know what to do. Just now, okay, we say. I'm only wonder what the people will bring. Just they pop. I know where nowhere left to go. And I said, I know where nowhere left to go.
In a way, we're sort of almost a paradigm of the way Rough Trade hoped to operate. We started off, recorded our own first single just on an 8-track studio. 500 copies was all we could afford to press. And we found them selling ridiculously fast. I got in touch with Rough Trade through a guy who makes badges. And they started to sell copies of that single for us. And then when it came to the second single, they asked us could they pay the costs and so forth and go into it on a joint venture. And from there we ended up doing an album which of course made the top 20. And at the moment we're considering just continuing that way because it's on a straight 50-50 partnership. But it's, you know, like do-it-yourself records time. It's really interesting.
You're more in contact with them, you know, whereas a big record company you have to make appointments to see the Mr. and Mr., you know, so-and-so. And with Rough Trade, you can walk in and just sit down and sort of talk to them.
They can offer us more money, which is strange to say. If we signed for CBS tomorrow, all the kids on the street would say, what a sellout. And the chances are very good. Our share of record sales would be at most a half of what we're making at the moment, because they give us what is tantamount to complete control. When you can write the best contract in the world, and sooner or later a big record company is going to find a way out of it.
Right. I don't know how many of you out there are actually thinking of joining pop groups. For those of you who are, and especially for all the A&R men that got in on the guest list tonight, this is for you. Oh, and our own record company, who it's not about, honest. This is called Rough Trade. Betrayed by lies. And you still there, you're running off this fucking war. Think that you won, but remember this is how it works. You do it all week, make it our own. We found people to trust, people to won't be betrayed, be betrayed no more. No lies no more.
The strength of Stiff Little Fingers music lies in its direct account of working-class teenage life. Now they're becoming pop stars with a pop star way of life. They are not ordinary kids anymore.
Why can't you tell us the truth? Why can't you tell us the truth? Why can't you tell us the truth?
The Fingers seem better prepared to cope with the dilemmas of success than Rough Trade's intellectuals. The danger is that Rough Trade will merely service the record business, will take the musical risks that the established companies cash in on. An even greater danger is that they will go the way of other small labels before them and become an established company themselves.